love to hear your perspectives on what you mean with spiritual hygiene and actually going about the spiritual work in sort of that, not that there's a wrong and right way, but in the most practical and healthy way.
Okay, so I can tell you that before I channeled, I've always been sensitive. I wouldn't have said psychic. However, now I'm here, I would say, well, you probably were getting some bleed through. You just didn't probably believe it. But I was a very sensitive young lady. And if I interacted with people that were mean or envious or just messed up themselves, didn't have good stuff going on in their life, or they actually had ill intention towards me for one reason or another, I would feel it. And there'd been a couple of times in my life where, I became sick from hanging around with someone. Just painting an example that it is possible if you're very sensitive, and if you're a sensitive person like me, like many people are that I have around me, then you pick up on other people's emotions, other people's consciousness. If they haven't got things going on that's too good for them, or if they're not well, you can pick up on it, and it can affect you, and it can affect your well-being and your health. Now, that is when your aura is quite large, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good thing. It can mean that it's, quite dissipated and weak, and things can easily get in there and stick in there, and you can have sort of thought forms and emotions sticking to you, and it can bring you down. So that used to happen to me a lot. I'm very aware now that I work with the energy of TARP, now that I work with other people, of what TARP bring and how easy it is. You can make yourself quite wide open and vulnerable to other energies, including from people, and how if they're not ready, or if they're not integrated enough, or their aura is not ready, they can have the wrong kind of thoughts and feelings and emotions and energies attached to them, which keep them resonating at a lower frequency. So having duller, heavier emotions, difficult to move through, or reoccurrences or patternings in life, things that keep happening over and over again. You mentioned things like that earlier. And it's really important. I mean, equally, I come across lots of people that are going through awakening experiences, and they really want to channel, or they're starting to channel, they're starting to have trans-dimensional engagement or experience, or more lucid dreams. And they're very keen to move forward because it is exciting to make contact. And while it's good to wish for those things, and to wish that we all have contact, you got to look after yourself and your hygiene. So in much the same way that you take care of your body and your health and your diet, and you take care of your skin and you maintain that, it's just as important to, I would say maybe even slightly more important, to take care of the energetic body, because everything comes through the energetic body, including sickness, health, happiness, success. If you just look at things like law of attraction, it comes from energy, and it comes from resonance, and everything comes into your aura, this kind of field of consciousness around you, a sort of plasma field around you. And if you have holes in your aura, or a weak and dissipated aura, something too spaced out and doesn't have a nice healthy border, you can be penetrated easily from not so favorable energies of things around you, including Wi-Fi, including toxic materials, toxic thoughts, toxic actions, fear. Fear is a great one, because it's very difficult to go through a day where you don't see people, or you come across something that's fear-inducing. It's difficult to not have a day where you're exposed to things that are trying to trigger fear in you. So these things can affect your aura. They can impact your aura. And when your aura is not nice and healthy and symmetrical, then your resonance or your spin. I say spin because you have chakras, it's your energy body, your energy anatomy. They're all supposed to be spinning around a still point, and they're all supposed to have a healthy spin. But if you've got an aura that's slightly more open or weak or leaking on one side, then you're going to be slightly off kilter, and it's going to set this kind of sequence of chakras, of vortex points up and down your body slightly off kilter. And when one is spinning slightly off time or slower or faster, you have the imbalances in your energy body, which will manifest ultimately, if they're left unchecked, in your emotional life, your spiritual, your physical life. So these things are really important. And I see that obviously right now there is so much going on in this world. There is so much that one can feel overwhelmed just like that from just looking at something on YouTube, and it can set everything off balance. If you're someone like me that's sensitive, you can take something in, it goes boom, straight into your heart. You might see a child somewhere that's suffering, or you might see something that's very scary about, some fear-inducing talk about AI. By the way, not that you need to feel scared. I don't feel about AI, but the fear, the agony, the pain, the sadness can be so instant with this, content that we see around us, we're bombarded with every day. And we need to take care of that, because it goes straight in, and it goes into a way that you almost feel it as deeply as the person that's actually suffering it, because it's a resonance. It's like a tuning fork. We are all one, but when you see fearful things, it tends to make you feel, oh, my earphone again. It tends to make you feel isolated or separated. And you lose that central focus, you lose that heart-based focus, you lose that sense of unity and collective and awareness. You know what? I was speaking so long, I forgot what the question was.
No, it's I asked about spiritual hygiene.
Yes.
However, what I think we can do is actually to bring TARP in and to elaborate more on this very issue, because I would love to hear more about how we can actually have a great spiritual hygiene.
Okay, all right. See you on the other side. So the next you'll hear is from TARP, and you can ask them questions directly, okay?
Okay.
Good afternoon. We are TARP. We are pleased to be here with you, blending our consciousness with this now of your now time. How may we be of assistance to you?
Hello, thank you so much for showing up today to communicate to us and our audience listening and watching. Now, we have been speaking about spiritual hygiene, and I feel and assume that this is especially important now in the times we're living in the big, great shift of consciousness, and also the times we're moving into. So could you speak a little bit about how we can prevent creating holes in our aura and have broken auras and taking negative energy, and how we can empower ourselves and have a spiritual hygiene?
Yes, we are here to help at this time. This is something that we would like to speak to you a little bit more about. In essence, we would say to you that it is best to keep yourself as integrated as possible. By this, we mean aware of the present moment and acknowledging and accepting of your divine mind, your divine soul. You are not a mere thought form. You are a powerful divine being that has the ability to feel bliss. This feeling of bliss and this idea of being able to carry your bliss beyond death and your awareness beyond death makes you quite distinct from other such thought forms, energies, or entities that can fill your auric space with fear. things that will help you keep a healthy auric field around you are spending time in nature and spending time with other beings of light and divinity, including the animals in your animal kingdom. So nature, animals of the animal kingdom, and other beings of light, humans such as yourself, where you are working with loving action, where what you are doing is not only actively loving, but passively loving. So doing everything you do in your day with an intention of love and well-being. This may seem easier to say than to do, but these are the things that keep a healthy energetic body and a healthy energetic system. For everything resonates correctly when one is feeling the feeling of love. When one is feeling the feeling of bliss, you are able to exalt yourself higher than maybe what you would understand is your 3D consciousness on this planet Earth. But ultimately, having a healthy energetic body is induced and kept intact by feeling the feelings of love or loving action. We do not just mean romantic love, of course, and we do mean that even if you are feeling sad or unhappy in any way, that you engage actively in the verb of loving action, and this will help you recalibrate your energetic body. There are, of course, energetic actions that you can do to create a healthy auric field. Essentially, if you bring your mind energy and your physical energy back into the fold of your own body or your own plasmic auric field around you, you are inhabiting the space, leaving it impossible for another kind of energy to inhabit it. Is this making sense to you? For when you scatter your mind, when you disperse your mind, when you disperse your actions, when you disperse your activities across many things, you apply yourself thinly to many things at once, you become dispersed, you become scattered, thereby leaving space within your auric field to be weakened, lessened, and put off central. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, that was very helpful. Thank you so much.
If you do not bring your divine self into your biological avatar body, you do not inhabit this biological body enough with presence, you will leave space inside which is open to be off balance, which will be fractalized. The more you feel centered and in union with others, including with loving action, the more you will inhabit your biological avatar body and your auric field.
To watch the full video, click the link below, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel.